Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my updated goals for 2020 using my Powersheets goal planner. This is the first year where I'm using this planner, and honestly I'm still getting the hang of using it. But I do think that the spring refresh section in here is such a good idea because it allows you to reevaluate your goals and change it up if you need to, or you can keep it the same. I actually changed it up a little bit. But yeah, anyways, let me just get right into here to the spring refresh section. So here's the tab where it says spring, and on here it has, so on this side it's I like the little quotes, like motivational reminders on here. This one says, in spring new life appears out of what felt bleak. It's a time of planting new seeds, blooming and celebrating. After winter, spring always comes. This is your fresh start. And then the very first sheet on here, it's called Clear the Clutter Checklist. So on here it has internet clutter, physical clutter, a heart clutter, decision clutter, and my social media statement. This I'm still kind of working out. I did write it in pencil just so I can go over it and change it if I need to. But on here, as far as the internet clutter goes, it says a checklist to try to have a social media free, I can't talk right now, try to have a social media free weekend, which I've done. Simplify the list of the accounts you follow, unsubscribe from emails, organize and simplify your computer desktop, and turn off notifications that distract you. With my desktop, I did make sure to organize all of the things for homeschooling on there, so it's easier for me to kind of navigate and turn in my son's work. And then physical clutter, the three areas that I am focusing on is my craft space, which is almost done, bathroom closet, and the kids closet. Heart clutter, 3 purpose-filled things to do when I feel lost or in the comparison trap. I did start journaling, so journal my thoughts is one of them. Unplug from the world and then talk to God about it. 3 decisions that will help me have a clean slate and live more purposely. Let go of failure and move on. Basically not dwelling in it. Don't lose sleep over it, pretty much. Be grateful for everything that I already have and trust in the Lord. And then this section here, I've never done anything like this, but basically this is a what it says, my social media mission statement, and it says, use social media and your times of connectivity on purpose. Write out a mission statement for how and why you will use them. And so far what I have, I put, I will use social media as a way to connect with like-minded people. Something else I wanted to put on there was, I also want to support those that I follow, the people that I look up to, people who have the same goals as me. I only really use Instagram, and I watch YouTube. I don't really use Facebook. I'm not on Facebook that much. I don't have a Twitter account. I do have a Snapchat, but that's usually with following my close friends and families. But it's mostly Instagram where I kind of feel like I can just scroll on forever. So I'm still working on this one here. And then on the next page, this one I actually did last because the thing with these power sheets, at the beginning, before you get into your goals, there's this prep work, and that took me forever. And I think part of the reason why is because I overthink things. So on here, you'll see like blank spaces, like these areas here of your life, you're supposed to rate how you feel about it, and then why you gave this rating. So you would rate it, why I gave this rating, what I'm saying yes to, and then what I'm saying no to. So I just did, I just circled the number and then just answered these short questions here instead of why I gave it this rating. And so let's start off with health. With health, what I'm saying yes to is drinking more water. And then what I'm saying no to, which I've actually been pretty good at, is late night snacking. And with friends right now, with social distancing, we hardly ever really see our friends. We already don't really see them as much before, but it's even worse now. But thankfully, since we have like social media and internet, we can still connect with them. So what I'm saying yes to is checking in with them. Finances, what I'm saying yes to is enjoy the fruit of my husband's labor, but don't get crazy. And then what I'm saying no to is impulse spending. And then with spiritual and personal growth, what I'm saying yes to is more time with God. I do devotion time morning and night. I try to make sure I start my day connecting with Him and then end the night also connecting with Him. And with my hubby, what I'm saying yes to is one-on-one conversations without the kids. And as you guys know, if you have kids, especially little toddlers or school-age kids or elementary school kids, well, I don't know, but sometimes like after dinner, when my husband and I are trying to talk, of course the kids are always interrupting, but that's okay. So we try to have like our one-on-one conversations at night before bed. For family, what I'm saying yes to is more quality time together. And I'll get into this when we get into my goals. And then for work, I am not working. However, what I'm saying yes to is finding opportunities to make money while being a stay-at-home mom. And then what I'm saying no to are opportunities that don't serve my goals. I have been on YouTube, I would say it's almost been 2 years. I get opportunities, like a couple emails here and there, but there's some of them that just doesn't apply to my channel or what my goals are. So those I've been saying no to. I do say yes to the ones that offer to send me their planners. I'm not going to say no to that because I love planning. So yeah. Anyways, recreation, what I'm saying yes to is taking more walks around the neighborhood. Okay, so onto the goal refresh. I don't know if you can tell, but I had originally wrote this in erasable ink pen, and I ended up erasing it all and starting over again. But starting with goal number 1, my goal is to work towards financial security, and then I have 3 bullet points of the things that I want to do that'll help me get closer to being financially more secure. So which is paying off my credit card debt by November of this year, increase our emergency fund to $9,000 by December 2020. I have since actually changed that to $6,000 by December 2020. And I think I'll do a separate financial goals video as well, because I want to get this with my financial goals. I want to get even, I want to get in more detail with it, even more than this. And then the other one is read 7 books related to personal finance. So far I have read, I'm on my 3rd one right now. I just feel like knowledge is power, pretty much. You know how that saying goes. The more you know about like personal finance, I feel like the better decisions I will make. And then goal number 2, grow as a content creator. And the 2 things I want to do is develop a consistent upload schedule for YouTube and Instagram. I think I figured out a schedule for YouTube. On Instagram, it's just kind of, I don't really have a schedule. I just post when I feel like I have something to post. And I do like to post or make sure my posts are more so intentional. And then incorporate videos where I am in front of the camera. And then goal number 3, have more quality family time. And for this 2 bullet points, I put my husband and I will lead by example and have no phones with us during playtime. Sometimes we get carried away. We want to keep our phones with us because we want to take pictures of them and send them to grandma or to family. So we want to try to make sure there's a lot of more times where we don't have our phone with us. And then weekly family time with my oldest when my son, my second or my youngest son is asleep. And we've been doing that lately. We've been having more game nights on Saturdays when my husband is off the following day. And my son's been liking that because, I don't know, maybe he feels like he's the only child again, or he, I don't know, maybe it feels cool to him to stay up later with us. So we don't stay up too crazy late. I think the latest one night we slept at or we went to bed around 11:45 because our Monopoly game ran kind of long. And if you're familiar with that game, you know how long that game can go on. Okay, back to the goals. Number 4, have an organized, clutter-free home. And the 3 spaces that I'm focusing on for the next 3 months is my craft space, closets, and sentimental items. So that I'm going to try to do 1 space per month and not get too crazy. And then goal number 5, work on habits to live a healthier lifestyle. No late night snacking, which I've been doing pretty good in. Work out consistently. I'm kind of working towards still and trying to find something that works for me. Lately, that's been yoga, and it's helping me not just with getting into a workout routine. It's also helping me be a lot more patient than I have been, I think, with my kids. So that's been working out pretty good. And then portion control. This I'm still working on because, I don't know, sometimes I just gotta have more than 1 slice of pizza. So I'm working on that. Goal number 6, stick to a consistent morning routine. And this is something that's still a work in progress. Wake up an hour before everyone. And my goal is to eventually consistently wake up at 5:30. But with my youngest one, his sleep patterns are still kind of unpredictable. He's 3 years old, but he wakes up, I don't know what it is in his bed. I don't know if it's uncomfortable, but he just randomly will wake up middle of the night, and then it'll take him a while to fall asleep. Lately, he's been pretty good. And then sometimes he'll wake up super early, like he'll wake up at 6 or 6:30. So, yeah, I'm working on that. And then be in bed by 10:30 so that I can be asleep by 11:30. This right now has not been going well. So I need to work on that. And then I'm working on, right now, for my morning routine, when I can get up before everyone else, I do the Savers routine in the morning. So yeah. And then goal number 7 is understand my faith. Complete devotion, preparing for Easter, which I have. I read this during Lenten season. And then I do have another devotion book in mind that I want to get, which is called Getting to Know Jesus. And make sure to use a journal. I'm actually using my Passion Planner daily as a journal, and I'm starting to include my devotional and scripture writing in there as well. And right now I am using the Our Daily Bread app, and I've been loving it so far. So that's what I'm using. And then goal number 8 is to implement and stick to a homeschool routine, which I think has been going well for the most part. We are pretty flexible, but for my son, it's nice to get him on a certain schedule. He knows that at 9 o'clock is when we start our learning time, and then we'll do 2 lessons before like snack time, and then 2 again before lunch, and then another 2 after lunch. We follow something that's called the Daily 6 routine from his classroom, or from his teacher, that we go by. Let me see if I can grab it really quick. So this is what it is right here. So Daily 6 for room 5. These are the 6 things: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's nothing really too complicated. And she even told us that Fridays are optional. We still go through Friday, but it's because for the most part it's a pretty easy day. So we still try to get that in. But we do like to try to keep it flexible and nothing too, how do I put this? Nothing too strict, I guess. But strict enough where there's some kind of structure that he knows what's going to happen for the day. So yeah, 9 o'clock, be ready, and then prep the night before with materials and the laptop. He is using my laptop right now. His school is offering to borrow Chromebooks, but I think we're fine with my laptop. And then every week, my son, I want him to continue to be in the habit of putting his work away during the week in the yellow folder, because at the end of the week, I take pictures, or I scan them and send it to his teacher. It's not really strictly recommend or strictly enforced, but she does recommend it so she can offer feedback. And then to make sure I check emails daily from school, and to make sure I print out his daily six and put it on our little board that we have. So yeah, that's all of my goals. And then let me show you guys how I planned for it in April. This says, believe in what you can't yet see. And before you get to planning into the month, there's this section here where it says to prepare well. There's a section for important to-dos, what I'm excited for, what's on my mind, and what I'm hopeful for. So I'll just share that here with you. Important to-do stuff, the Savers routine, making sure to start cleaning up my craft space, and to be brutal with the declutter, meaning to let go of all the things, especially all of the stickers that I really haven't used in 2 years. So I already did that. And then to create another debt payoff and savings plan. This I still have to make sure to see if we are still right on plan to be done paying off credit card by November, because since we do plan to beef up our emergency fund, I just want to make sure we're still on the right path to do that. My husband, luckily for us, is still working, so we really lucked out there. So yeah, and then make sure to create a homeschool routine, and then for you to make sure to post 3 videos per week. And then what I'm excited for is more family time, game nights, Mario Karts. And we've actually been playing with my husband's siblings. One of them lives here in the same city as us, and the other 2 lives in Virginia. So it's been pretty fun to play Mario Kart online with them. And then opportunity to homeschool and learn more about Nathan and his skills. This has been actually pretty fun. It's both fun and frustrating because I don't know if I'm being too strict with him at some times, or if I'm not strict enough. So yeah, but it's kind of nice to know where he stands and what he's capable of doing and not doing. And I don't know, it's been pretty nice. It's definitely been different compared to his regular homeworks that he does every day. So yeah, and then what's on my mind, definitely the COVID-19. We are still on, I wouldn't say lockdown, but we're still in our safe at home order, which I'm actually okay with. James is still working, which has me worried at the time that I was writing this, but his work has, I believe in the last 2 weeks, enforced the whole not going into customers' houses. He works for a company where he installs internet, TV, or I don't know if it's TV, but he works in communications pretty much. I don't know if that's the right term, but he installs internet, phone. So yeah, and people still need their internet, especially right now, because how are you going to do homeschooling or school or working from home without internet? Yeah. And then another thing that I'm worried about is all of my friends and family who are still working. My mom is still working. She works in San Jose, and one of her coworkers did test positive for it, but they did come up with a schedule where they staggered the employees, which I'm happy about. So, and they are wearing masks and practicing social distancing. So yeah, and I do have friends that work in healthcare as well, so just making sure I'm praying for them and praying for everyone who is out there still working, whether it's in healthcare, grocery stores, delivering. If you're out there working, hopefully you guys are practicing good social distancing safety measures. I don't know if that's what you call it, but hopefully you guys are being safe out there. And then another thing that's been on my mind is homeschooling Nate and making sure that my toddler is entertained at the same time. And usually learning, we try to do at the same time. Certain activities we can do all together on the table. I'll just, if my son has to do writing, my toddler likes to write as well. And then if I need to really keep him busy, I do have a stash of stickers for him to go through. It usually keeps him occupied. So yeah. And then I'm hopeful that this pandemic will be over soon, sooner than expected. And I'm hopeful that more people are surviving this, because I feel like we don't hear enough of the people who are surviving. I don't think there's enough news coverage of those who are surviving the COVID-19 virus. So I'm hoping that there are more surviving it rather than dying from it. I know it's a sad, it's really sad to look at the news and watch the news and stuff. So, yeah. And then I'm hoping that my family won't be infected as long as we all follow the guidelines for prevention. So, anyways, let's move on. From what I've heard, this is something new that Powersheets has done. They didn't have like a monthly overview in the past. So what I'm using this for is to plan out my YouTube videos. I also have financial obligations on here as well, just so I can see the things that we need to pay for monthly, since paying off our debt or being more financially secure is one of our top priorities. And as far as YouTube goes, I do have a separate notebook where I kind of jot down all of my ideas. And then for now, I'm going to be using this calendar to plug those in. I also have a dry erase calendar up on my wall that I just recently put. And I want to make sure I transfer whatever is in here onto there as well, just to make sure that I can see the days that I need to be uploading. So this is the plan so far. If it doesn't go as planned, I can easily just cross it off and move and maybe put something else on there. But this is something, or this is the schedule that I would like to follow. So yeah, and moving on. This is the section that I think was the hardest for me to get used to. I do like this section here, so I'll get to that for sure in a minute. But on here, in the past couple months, or I think in January, I ended up writing a whole, I think I try to fit all of my goals into here, where the whole idea of this is cultivating what matters most, little by little. That's the motto. Let me look for the quote. Hang on. Okay, I think I found it. I should have highlighted it, but on this section here, it says, grow what matters one step at a time, little by little, your steps will add up. And then this right here, you can't do it all and do life well, but you can choose to cultivate what matters. And that means letting go at times and leaning into the power of little by little, progress, not perfection. Little by little, a little becomes a lot and can add up to a whole new life. And all good things start with one step. So pretty much what that means is working on your goals little by little and not trying to accomplish everything all at once. So that's something I feel like I think I'm still learning. But right now, these are the goals that I'm focusing on for the month, which is to organize my craft space, implement and stick to a homeschool routine, and to have quality time with my family. And I have to say that I pretty much accomplished all these goals. There's just a little bit more left to do with my craft space, but I'm pretty content with how the month is going with these goals. And then the action ideas for these goals, for my craft space is to declutter and be brutal about it, rearrange and remove unnecessary furniture, move out the stools, move my desk. I pretty much rearranged my craft space, and I like it so far. And then here I just have the action to-do list for my homeschool routine. And then what you're supposed to do is you take these goals and your action ideas and you transfer it over to your tending list. It doesn't have to necessarily, or I don't think it has to be just these goals, but the tending list is for things that you want to tend to little by little. And so what I have put on here is progress, not perfection, and my top priority is a homeschool routine. And then my monthly action items, I didn't put too much. I think the previous month I did fill this completely, but the monthly action items are to reorganize my craft space, end of the month budget recap, which I will get to next week during payday, finish reading, preparing for Easter, pay back our savings, and then do some Easter crafts, which we've already done, which also counts for family time. And then weekly action items, budget recap, my YouTube videos, homeschooling things here, budget setup, game nights, and movie night. We did watch Trolls Part 2, which was pretty awesome. So that one was a really fun night. And then whatever I have blacked out here means it doesn't apply. This was spring break week. That's why for the homeschool things here, it's blocked out. And then for my budget setups, I do bi-weekly. So that's why these are kind of blacked out, and I do have it color coded just so when I see this I know what it is that I'm working on. And so at a glance I can tell that I do have financial things on here, and just to make sure that I'm focusing on making sure whatever I have on here is also has to do with my goals that I put here as well. And then for the daily action items and habits, I have devotion time, late night snacking, no late night snacking, fasting, no chips for 22 days, and then wake up at 6 a.m. And as you guys can see, these are like completely blank. I think for the next month, I'm going to completely I'm not going to add devotion time because I think that that's something I'm comfortable with that I don't need to work on. I do it already. I think what I'm going to focus on is the things that I still need to work on. And honestly, I think I put this on here because since I know I always do it, it's nice to kind of still add it anyways, and I know that I'm always doing it. So I do need to still work on this, so this will still be on here for the next month. And yeah, and that is it for the tending list. And what you're supposed to do, or what's recommended, is it's perforated right here, so you can take it off and put it on like a board or a clipboard or somewhere where you can see it. And I did do that for the first month, but that didn't work out too well for me. I like having it near my desk now, since I have been planning or in my desk or on my desk craft space more than I have been before, ever since I rearranged it. So I just keep it in here, and I do have it on a book stand. I got it from Amazon. I think I posted it on my Instagram, but let me just show you guys. It's this right here. So I keep it on here. It came in a 2-pack. It was like $8. So I have it somewhere in my on my desk where I can always see it, and it's folded up, or not folded up. It's like this. So when I walk in my office, I kind of can see what I need to check off. I have the same thing. I have the same stand for my budget planner as well. And then the next page is the month in review. I've never done this before, so I will make sure to do this. I'm really bad at the monthly check-ins other than my budget recaps, but I'm really bad with the monthly checking in. Same thing with my passion planner. I'm not really good at filling that in, but I will try my best to remember to do this page. Yeah. And that's it. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys did find it helpful in setting up your goals. I was kind of iffy on whether or not I wanted to share this because I know goals can be very personal. But as I was searching, I actually watched a couple videos on how everyone set up their goals, because like I said, I tend to overthink, and when it comes down to writing what I'm thinking, the goals I have in mind down on paper, it's for some reason it's hard for me. And I also did get the idea of color coding as well from people who use the Powersheets. So if you need more ideas, if you need help setting up your planner, I will link down to, there's two people that I kept watching when it came to setting up the Powersheets. So I'll make sure to link their channels down below just in case you need help or inspiration in that area. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.